Good evening and thanks for joining us on your Monday. I'm Sophie Erber. New COVID-19 guidance out of the Pentagon today. All military members will be required to get vaccinated for coronavirus. Details now in our top story at 5. In memos distributed to all troops, top Pentagon leaders say that the vaccine is a necessary step to maintain military readiness. The requirement is set to begin mid-September, but that could be bumped up if the vaccine received final FDA approval, or if infection rates continue to rise. Without FDA approval, a waiver from President Joe Biden is needed to make the shots mandatory. Biden has already made it clear he supports this move. According to the Pentagon, more than 1 million troops are fully vaccinated and more than 230,000 have received at least one shot. The chief of the National Guard Bureau made a stop in Sioux City today at the 185th Air Refueling Wing. As the chief of the National Guard Bureau and as a member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General Daniel R. Hokanson is the senior-most member of the U.S. Army National Guard and Air National Guard. Colonel Mark Muckey is the 185th Wing's commander, and he invited the general to town. During that visit, Muckey highlighted the unit's mission and its members, as well as the Air Guard's unit's unique relationship with the Siouxland community.
And I would tell you across the board, it is just an exemplary unit from every level, from the youngest airmen through the family support programs and really to the senior leaders of this organization. And I will tell you this will probably not be my last visit here.
This is the first time in the unit's history that a sitting member of the Joint Chiefs of Staff has visited the Sioux City Air Base. Meanwhile, an inmate has escaped a community work center in Yankton, South Dakota, and authorities are now asking the public to keep an eye out. 32-year-old Christopher Cramblett left the Yankton Community Work Center without permission Sunday. This is according to officials with the Department of Corrections. Cramblett stands about 6 feet tall and weighs 265 pounds. He has brown hair and brown eyes. Cramblett is serving 3 concurrent sentences for child abuse out of Minnehaha County. Sioux City police tonight have identified the suspect in a string of property damages that happened in downtown on Sunday. 37-year-old Ryan Redler of Sioux City is now charged with 4 counts of criminal mischief and 2 counts of assault by inmate with bodily fluids. All charges are felonies. Officers were dispatched to 725 Pearl Street. That's where a man had damaged a glass window and then entered a business. They say he left and damaged 2 more buildings. Police say Redler injured himself while damaging that property. He was treated and booked into the Woodbury County Jail. Crashes on Nebraska roads could be cleared up faster thanks to a new program. The Nebraska State Patrol is utilizing drones for crash investigations. These new drones, coupled with state-of-the-art mapping systems, allow our investigators to gather investigative images and data in less than half the time that it used to take. One trooper says the new system not only helps clear the scene, it also helps clear up cases in the courtroom faster.
We could present a better case to a juror in case we have a criminal charge. It's more a visual of what is there on scene versus doing a 2D drawing of what's there.
The Nebraska State Patrol has 19 certified drone pilots. The program has already been used to investigate several crash scenes all across the state. The Senate tonight is one step closer to passing President Joe Biden's $1 trillion infrastructure package. If successful, supporters say it will be the largest investment made in decades. Our Washington correspondent Kelly Meyer has the very latest on their impending vote.
The Senate is in the final stretch.
For the first time, the Senate has come together around such a package in decades.
After working through the weekend, senators are charging forward with a $1 trillion infrastructure package, setting up a final vote on Tuesday. The majority of Democrat and Republican senators are on board with the plan that would use $550 billion in new spending to update roads and bridges, expand broadband internet, and promote clean drinking water. But there were some who tried to hold up the package.
You know, they dropped a 2,700-page bill, and by Thursday of last week, we'd had all of 6 days to take a look at that.
Tennessee Republican Senator Bill Hagerty wanted more time to debate amendments.
Not allow this to be expedited in the dark of night. And what has happened since then? The American public have had the opportunity to see what's here.
Republican leader Mitch McConnell is on board with the bipartisan package, calling it a compromise. As many as 70 senators could vote in support of the bill Tuesday. The bipartisan infrastructure package will go to the House next, but the House has already left for August recess, so they won't even consider this until they return in mid-September. Reporting in Washington, I'm Kelly Meyer.
Oil prices are down in part thanks to rising case numbers with COVID-19 in the U.S. and elsewhere. Futures of crude oil falling nearly 2% today. Analysts also pointing to some new restrictions on travel in China, the world's second largest oil consumer. We turn our attention now to the weather. Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson standing by on this Monday, where we find ourselves a bit above average in the temperature department, but nothing really out of the ordinary to write home about.
Yeah, some pretty warm August weather out there today, Sophie. Usual highs are in the low to mid 80s. Today we were able to make it up to 90 in Sioux City, even touching the triple digits there in O'Neill. 95 today in Albion, 90 degrees for Denison. Overnight lows are expected to fall into the upper 60s and lower 70s. A very slim chance of a thunderstorm happening tonight. A marginal risk inside of the green on your screen that's extended into tomorrow to the southeast of Sioux City. A marginal risk once again. We'll take a closer look at those thunderstorm chances and some more warm weather coming our way this week. It's in the 9 on 9 forecast coming up. Sophie?
All right, thanks, Scott. Well, we know school starts in about 2 weeks, and the Sioux City Community Schools are rolling out a new lunch program. It's called the Seamless Summer Option. It's free to all students, but Food Service Director Rich Luz says that families should still fill out the Iowa eligibility meal application to take advantage of this new pandemic benefit.
They can qualify themselves for PEBT benefit, which is from the DHS or state. Benefit form, but data collected from us will help them determine the dollar amount that each family and student gets.
Families can apply as many times as they want until the school year ends. You can visit our website, SiouxlandProud.com, to learn more about how to access this free application. Access to vaccines is getting even easier, especially for school-age kids. The Dakota County Health Department will be setting up a clinic tomorrow right out at the South Sioux City High School. That's going on from 4 until 6 p.m. All 3 COVID-19 vaccines will be offered on site. Of course, that's Johnson & Johnson, Moderna, and Pfizer. No appointments needed, but 12 to 18-year-olds do need parental consent. The list of companies requiring vaccines is growing, and so is research about the new variants of the virus, including how the vaccinated and unvaccinated are impacted. So we have gathered up some local experts to break down what you need to know on Wednesday, August 11th. Be sure to tune in to KCAU 9 for coronavirus, vaccines, and variants. That town hall event also available online on our website, SiouxlandProud.com, or again on the KCAU 9 Facebook page. Now to the west, where the wildfire emergency is intensifying. The fast-moving Dixie Fire on pace to become the largest in California state history. ABC's Morgan Norwood has the very latest out of Los Angeles.
The Dixie Fire once again exploding in size, now the second largest wildfire in California's history. Firefighters racing to contain the spread, but surrounded on all sides as they drive through the flames.
Left behind a lot of stuff. Fires ravaged through everything.
More people told to evacuate as the Dixie Fire now threatens 14,000 structures, already destroying more than 600 homes in the entire town of Greenville since it started a month ago.
It's scary when you sit there and see all the smoke coming over the mountain and wonder, where's it at? Because you can't see it.
Further north, the McFarland Fire raging, only 21% contained as aircraft reinforced containment lines with retardant. As these wildfires tear through the West, the United Nations sounding the alarm on the global climate crisis in its strongly worded climate panel report, saying it's unequivocal that human influence has warmed the atmosphere, ocean, and land.
The report published today echoes the same messages with much higher urgency. Climate change is already more visible, and the emissions have grown more rapidly than we ever expected in 1979.
Have you found something that you are naturally talented at? One man didn't realize he could draw until about 2 years ago. How he's turned his new skills into a moneymaker coming up.
And no enormous changes really in the forecast. It's going to stay on the hotter side of things through much of this week with a lot of sunshine, but we are continuing to monitor a chance of some thunderstorms. Join us for the 9 on 9 forecast. That's next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
Thanks for sticking with us. A beautiful warm day here in Siouxland. Some of that haze that we were dealing with chronically last week seems to have blown out for the most part.
Well, it looks like we've had some temporary relief as far as that smoke and haze is concerned, Sophie. Did have some dense fog to begin things this morning, but things have cleared up. As we look outdoors on the Wayne State College camera set up in northeast Nebraska, bright sunny skies, and it has been a hot one. As we observe current temperatures here throughout the Midwest, you can see that we have some heat there in parts of Kansas into Nebraska. Temperatures in the upper 90s to around 100 for Goodland, Kansas right now. And dealing with some heat of our own. It's 94 degrees in O'Neill, 93 in Yankton. Current temperature of 89 outside in Sioux City, 84 for Storm Lake. And the temperature stands at 85 degrees in Spencer, 90 for Audubon. It is also very humid and muggy as we have dew points exceeding 70 degrees. In some cases, getting pretty close to 80 degrees, including around Storm Lake, Lamar's. Currently at 77 for the dew point value in Wayne. So that makes it feel quite a bit hotter than what the temperature would indicate, between 90 and 110 degrees for most of the map here. A feels like temperature of 109 in Takema, 104 outside Friday and Saturday. A good amount of sunshine through the extended forecast. Not a whole lot of rain chances once we get past that slim opportunity tomorrow. It looks like we'll have 8 straight days with no precipitation in Sioux City. That was kind of a different story. Last night we had one rogue, very strong thunderstorm that had some severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings on it for several hours. It was able to produce a tornado in Ocheyedan, Iowa. Thanks to Scott for snapping this picture of a big wall cloud there in Ocheyedan. If you have a picture that you want to share with us, go to SiouxlandProud.com, find the weather tab, send us your photos.
Yeah, that must have been very localized right there because a lot of Siouxland had clear skies.
That's right. Traveled towards Spencer, a pretty powerful storm.
All right, thanks a lot. And pandemic birthdays were characterized by parades, you might remember, but one boy dreamt of something even bigger, how his love of semis is turning into a new nonprofit organization coming up. But first, one man's talent, faith, and family all coming together through art. How he discovered his talents with a pencil and what motivates him to keep drawing next. Family and talent. One man knows how important each of those in life really are. Chad Tucker shows us how he puts it all into his art.
Most people, you'll see them doing paintings and cartoon characters, but you don't really find too many portrait artists.
For Marcus Lowry, this came naturally.
I didn't know that I could really do this until 2 years ago. That's when I got noticed.
It didn't take long for his pencil sketch drawings to grow from this to this.
I don't know where portraits came from, but I'm thankful that I got this talent.
But what to do with your newfound talent? He turned to his faith and the inspiration in the next room over.
I want to be able to make my son happy. I just didn't know what I was going to do, and so one day I had prayed, and I was like, God, just show me what you want me to do. And then, little do you know, I started getting paid off of my art. And then look where it's gotten me.
His work now helps people celebrate life and heal from loss.
Like I said, I've done a lot of portraits where I would add in the family member who passed away in with a cousin or a child that the person never was able to meet, so I was able to bring them peace.
We all have a calling. Marcus Lowry is answering his.
You know, it motivates me even more, like having my fiance and my son standing behind me. That's what really motivates me, because I want my son to look back on his dad and just be like, you know, my dad, he did something with his life, and he didn't give up on his dreams.
Well, News Nation Prime comes your way every night at 7, and at 6 is the Donlin Report. Here's a preview of what's coming up there tonight.
Tonight on the Donlin Report, his employer says get the COVID vaccine or don't come to work. He says it's unnecessary. We'll talk with the college professor now suing his university about why he won't get the shot. And what are your options if you're in the same situation? Now here's Leland Vittert with a preview of On Balance.
Thanks, Joe. Paris police scouting for vaccine passports right at the dinner table. Could this be coming to a city near you? Would any U.S. states allow it? That's coming up On Balance tonight, followed by News Nation Prime.
Again, that comes your way every night at 7 o'clock on News Nation, and you can see some of the channels here or just check your own local listings. What started as a special birthday convoy is now growing into a new nonprofit and bringing smiles to children with disabilities and terminal illness. Why one boy is so passionate about sharing his love of trucks with others, coming up next. A new nonprofit is rolling down the road to help lift the spirits of kids with terminal illnesses and disabilities. Abby Friedman introduces us to the man behind the Horns of Hope convoy.
What started out as Nathan Lindstrom's 10th birthday parade grew and grew into a soon-to-be nonprofit.
You can't go anywhere with COVID, and a bunch of people have been doing one-bys with cars, but I don't really like cars. I like semis.
In fact, there are few things Nathan loves more than semi-trucks. Why do you like semis so much?
I just do. I don't know why.
After his folks pulled together some big trucks for Nathan's birthday parade, the now 10-year-old decided the excitement he was feeling needed to be shared with others.
We're hoping that this is something that we can really pull together and make it a long-lasting effect.
So, Horns of Hope Convoy was formed. For their first fundraiser, kids with terminal illnesses or disabilities could ride along inside the semis during the convoy.
It's not just about a big truck and blowing the air horn. It's about making a smile and making a difference.
And they certainly did. Thanks to basket raffles and food trucks, a check was presented to the Make-A-Wish office in Amherst this week.
We donated $7,000, so that was actually phenomenal for the given circumstances in our first year.
And perhaps even more exciting than presenting the check was watching the dozens of riders find the same passion as Nathan.
Even if they're nonverbal, they speak through their smile. So you know that you are touching the heart and you're making a difference.
Nathan's mom says they're finalizing the paperwork to become a nonprofit, and they're already planning their Horns of Hope convoy for next July.
Taking a live look outside right now on a sunny evening. Scott returns with one more check on your forecast. Stay with us. Before we wrap up here at 5, let's check in first with Tim for what's coming up at 6. Hi, Tim.
Hey, Sophie. It's a Monday, and folks are glad that class isn't in session yet. Awful hot in some of those non-air-conditioned school buildings if there was class today. Students, of course, will be headed back to the classroom here starting next week. And some school districts tell us that they are still scrambling to fill open teacher positions. In South Dakota, it's reported that there are as many as 150 open positions across all the state. We'll take a look at the reasons behind that shortage coming up at 6. And Major League Baseball's first game here in Iowa is Thursday at Field of Dreams in Dyersville. And even people without tickets are coming to the area, made popular by the movie with the same name. It's a last chance to see the park before some major changes come to the area. We'll find out what's in the works. That's coming up at 6. And of course, that game on Thursday pits the Yankees and the White Sox, Sophie.
Yeah, so hard to get tickets to that. You had to get lucky in a lottery system. So
yeah, a couple of good teams, too. They're both vying for playoff contention.
They really are. I see you follow baseball as well. 2 baseball fans here, and great weather to be outside for it.
Yeah, pretty nice weather out there on the warmer side of things. 69, the overnight low, partly cloudy. Tomorrow, a small chance of storms and a high temperature near 90.
All right, thanks so much, Scott. Thank you for joining us. We hope you'll join us again here at 6. Until then, have a great night, everyone.